If you're in the world of contract management, you've probably heard of the gold standard, the Certified Professional Contract Manager, or CPCM. So today, we're going to break down exactly what it is, how you can get it, and what it really means for your career.
So you got to ask yourself, are you ready to be seen as a true leader in your field? Because earning the CPCM certification, well, that's a very clear and powerful way to show everyone that you've hit that top tier of expertise.
Okay, first things first. Before we dive into all the how-tos, we really need to get a handle on the what. What exactly is the CPCM, and why does everyone call it the gold standard? Let's get into it.
Simply put, the CPCM is the top-level certification from the National Contract Management Association, the NCMA. And listen, this is not just some other certificate you can get. It's the credential that shows you've met the absolute highest standards set by the biggest organization in the profession.
And what does that profession even cover? Well, the NCMA defines it as the entire life cycle of a contract. We're talking from the very beginning, developing solicitations, all the way to performing the contract and finally closing it out. The CPCM proves that you have truly mastered this whole process, end to end.
And you can really trust the process. The NCMA builds its certifications on a foundation of fairness and integrity. They are committed to being fair and objective for every single person who applies, and they guarantee that all your data is kept completely confidential. It's about upholding a standard you can really believe in.
All right, so now we get why the CPCM is so valuable. But what's the first step to actually getting it? Let's walk through the application journey together.
So, to even be eligible, you've got to check 3 really important boxes. First, a bachelor's degree. Second, 120 hours of continuing professional education. And third, at least 5 years of real-world work experience. And just so we're clear, these aren't suggestions. They are firm requirements for every candidate.
Now, let's talk money. As you can see, there's a huge financial perk to being an NCMA member. It cuts that application fee by almost half. The exam fee, though, that's the same for everybody. And keep in mind, you have to pay that fee every single time you sit for the test.
Okay, so you've sent in your application and you've been approved. Fantastic! Now comes the main event, the biggest hurdle on your path to certification, conquering the CPCM exam.
You've got 2 options for how to take the exam. You can go the traditional route at an on-site testing center, which is a super controlled environment, or you can take it from the comfort of your own home with online proctoring. But you have to follow some pretty strict rules about your workspace. The best part, no matter which one you choose, you get your results right there on the screen as soon as you're done. Let's dig into the numbers. The exam itself has 180 multiple-choice questions, and it's designed to be comprehensive, covering a huge range of knowledge. It even includes some scenario-based questions to really test how you apply what you know. You'll have exactly 4 hours to get through all of it. Now, that breaks down to about 1 minute and 20 seconds per question, so as you can imagine, pacing yourself is going to be absolutely critical for success. And here it is, the magic number, your target. To pass the CPCM exam, you need a score of at least 72.2%. It's a very specific number, which is actually great because it gives you a super clear goal to aim for while you're studying. So, what's the best way to study? Well, the exam blueprint basically gives you the game plan. You can see that leadership and management is the biggest piece of the pie at 25%. But, and this is important, look at how the core contract phases, pre-award, award, and post-award, are all weighted exactly the same. So you've got to balance your prep time accordingly.
Now, it's really important to know what happens if you don't pass on your first go. It's definitely not the end of the road. You can retake it, but you have to wait at least 10 days. You get a grand total of 3 shots within your 1-year eligibility window. But if you don't pass after that 3rd try, you do have to start the whole application process over from scratch.
But let's not dwell on that. Let's focus on success. You've passed the exam. Woo! So what happens now? This is where we talk about life as a certificant, which comes with both some awesome rewards and some ongoing responsibilities. First and foremost, a huge congratulations. Passing this exam is a massive achievement. You can immediately and efficiently start adding those 4 powerful letters, CPCM, right after your name. We're talking your resume, your business cards, your email signature. It's a real mark of distinction. But getting the CPCM isn't the finish line. To keep your certification active, you'll need to complete 60 hours of continuing professional education, or CPE, every 5 years. This is all about making sure your skills stay sharp and your knowledge is always up to date. And you really need to pay attention to the recertification timeline because it is strict. Your 5-year cycle ends on December 31st. If you miss that deadline, your certification gets suspended and you can't use the CPCM title. And if you let it slide past April 1st of the next year, it expires completely, and you'd have to start this entire journey all over again.
So after hearing about all the requirements, the tough exam, and the upkeep, let's circle back to the biggest question of all. Why does this whole journey even matter? What's the real, tangible value of this achievement?
At the end of the day, the CPCM is so much more than just a certificate. It's a formal declaration that you have the complete package, the knowledge, the skills, and the abilities that define a true professional in this field. It's proof that you have mastered your craft.
So there you have it. We've laid out the entire roadmap, the requirements, the challenge, the reward, and the responsibility. The only question left is the one you have to answer for yourself. Is the CPCM your next career milestone? That next level of professional recognition is right there, waiting for you.